Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki, known here as the One-Handed Bandit, and if you'd like to see how I created this neutral eye look with the Melanin Fantasy palette, keep watching. So I did my brows off camera, and I just did a regular brow. But I decided to do a voiceover today because my neighbors are very noisy today, and I am using the Brown Melanin Makeup Melanin Fantasy Eyeshadow Palette, which has all of these gorgeous shades. So starting out, I'm going to be using this caramel brown shade, which is called Ohema, Ohema. And I'm just going to add that to my crease area, and I'm just going to blend it out and slowly build up this color. Now this color does have a hint of orange to it, but it's like a caramel brown with a hint of orange. If you're familiar with the Jackie Aina palette, the shade not ed is it Edges? I think it's Edges. It's very similar to that shade, which I love as a transition shade. So very, very nice transition shade. So just slowly building up the color on both eyes. And as you can see, I am going very, very lightly. So next I'm taking this chocolate brown shade, which is called Sweet Brown. And I'm adding that to the outer V of my eye. So I'm packing it in very, very deeply on the outer V. But as I move in closer to my lid, I am going very, very light because I want it to have like a gradient effect on my eye. And this look will be pretty neutral. So that's why I want the brown to pretty much stand out. So I'm slowly building it out. And this is a Sephora Pro number 19 brush. So now to add my lid shade, I'm going to use this beige shade on the lower left hand corner of your screen. This is called Bijou, Bijous. Now, this shade may appear a bit ashy, but it is not. You can build this shade up, and as you can see, I am slowly packing it on until I get the pigmentation that I want. So just packing it on and make sure that it blends nicely into the brown, as you can see right there. So now I'm going to add my eyeliner, and this is the Sephora liquid eyeliner. So I start out with the very beginning of my, what is it called, the pupil. So I start there and then I pull out and bring it all the way to the edge, and then I do the bottom and I connect the two and just easily fill it in. Liner and lashes have been applied, so let's go in with the foundation. This is the Milk Makeup Foundation, and I'm just applying that directly from the bottom, from the bottle, and I've already primed and moisturized, so just adding this on. So just to forewarn you, it may look like this is not my shade, but it is my shade. The next shade darker is a little too dark for me. So I'm going in with the Farsali Unicorn Essence. I do like to use Farsali drops with my foundations. I don't know why, but I just like the way that it makes my makeup look. just adding a few drops on both sides of my face, and then I'm just blending out the foundation. And here you'll start to see how the foundation, it looks pretty, I would say, orange or very, 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 very golden. And you'll see how it looks lighter than my neck, but everything will blend out in the end. You will slowly see that. And with most foundations, most of them do oxidize, and that is what this does as well. So for concealer, I'm using the Butterscotch Concealer by Too Faced, and I'm just adding that right under my eye. And this is very close to my skin tone, so I do go in with a lighter shade in a moment. And this is the lighter shade concealer. This is in the shade Tan. So I add very, very little of that because it is very light, and I normally use this as a eyeshadow base. So I like to let my concealers dry down, so I'm just using my hand fan just to speed up the process, and then I go in and blend out those concealers. And let me know down in the comments below. As you can tell by my background, I have moved around in my room just a little bit and just changing things up. I know my lighting may be a little off, but I will get it together soon. And to contour, I am using the, what is this? Black Radiance concealer stick, which is a contour. But I go in very light. I don't want my nose to be super snatched. I just want a light contour. And I'm using that Pat McGrath under eye brightening powder just to set my concealer, and I go in extremely lightly and add on as I need. Been loving this Pat McGrath setting powder. I have been using it with different concealers, and I've loved it with everything that I've used it with. So to set the rest of my face, I'm using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Powder, which is in the shade 415, and I'm just setting all over the face. And I do have my scarf form, which is setting my edges. And to bronze, I'm using the CoverGirl bronzer in the shade Ebony. And this is where my face starts to take shape, and the foundation starts to look better. It kind of like neutralizes with the dark and, you know, the light. And now I'm setting that contour shade, because anything that you use a cream with, you want to set with the powder. So I'm just setting that with the powder, and it also helps take shape of my face, and also, you know, adds definition to the rest of my face. And that's one of the wonderful things about makeup, and there's no rules. You can, it's, you know, it's a trial and error. You play around with different shades and colors and products and find out what works best for you. And it may not look good off top, but once you play it through the end, it comes out beautifully. And here we can see how everything pulls itself together. I'm going back into the palette, and I'm going to take this orange shade, which is called Strong. Now, this was supposed to be a neutral look, but I don't know what I was thinking when I went in with this orange shade. But I'm just adding that to the lower lash line. But it just adds a pop of color to the look, so I liked it at the end. I truly love this palette. It is a very versatile palette. There's a pink in there that you can also use as a blush. And I'm using this shade, which is called Magic. You can use it as a highlighter as well. And I'm adding that to my inner tear duct. The only thing about this palette was I was just, you know, kind of bummed that when I received it, my mirror was cracked. But luckily, none of the eyeshadows were broken. So that's a win. And for highlighter, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter in the shade Sunset Aurora. And just adding that to my cheekbones. So hopefully for my next video, I don't have to do a voiceover. I can come on camera and talk directly with you all. So just adding that to the bridge of my nose, the tip. And I also added to my forehead because I do have texture up there and I do have a scar. At first I didn't like it up there, but I like the way that it completes everything. It makes everything look evenly blended. So it kind of just pulls the whole look together by just adding that onto my forehead. So we're almost done. So I'm using the Fenty Beauty lip paint in the shade Underdog. This is the one that came out over the holidays, which was sort of like an ornament, and it only came out in a mini size. But I do love this shade. And since I'm using a neutral look, just decided to add a bold lip to complete it. And friends, we have come to the end of the video. I hope that you have enjoyed. Leave me a comment down below on what you think, and I will see you in the next video. I hope that you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe.